Welcome back, Story Seekers. Are you ready for another tale of ancient times? Here we will find the last of our undead foes in our bestiary of the world of the mighty war god Kratos, ending with a truly terrifying foe. So let us go. Simply put, Helwalkers are the origin for a myth that spreads all throughout the world, usually referring to the end times. Now, in Norse mythology, obviously, this would be Ragnarok, but we even get references to a myth very similar to this in the Bible. In Revelation, speaking about the dead walking the earth for 1,000 years, when hell's coffers become too full. And this is very similar to what happens in the mythology, the legend of Ragnarok. It is believed that when all the corners of Helheim reach a bursting point, that the souls will overflow from within all throughout Yggdrasil. Other than that, there isn't much to say about these enemies. They are the same foes that you fight all throughout Midgard, but perhaps with a little bit more of a grievance against you now. The next of our undead foes isn't so much undead as much as they are inhuman. They are the Reavers of Yggdrasil, because they are all throughout the 9 realms. And there isn't a whole lot in our real world mythology that refers to Reavers. However, when we listen to the musings of Atreus in his journal, we know that Reavers are those who have succumbed to the cider magic. Now, that can be said, I say it's cider, but it's seidir. And that is the magic of Vanaheim. Now, in the mythology, it's not specifically the magic of Vanaheim, it's just magic in general, but from what we know, the magic originates and gets most of its use in Vanaheim by the Vanir gods. By all appearances, those that we see all throughout the 9 realms in the world of Kratos seem to have abandoned their humanity altogether. And it is important to note that all of the Reavers in God of War are distinctly male. And that's important because that is really the only link that we have back to the mythology of our world. Now, it is believed that men who practice Seidr magic lose their manliness, lose their masculinity, because magic, the practice of magic, was seen to be a woman's domain. And in some cases, in the mythology, those who practice Seidr magic long enough would actually become women themselves. So this is more of a creative interpretation by those who wrote the stories of God of War, because it wouldn't really be much of a story or much of a game if the Reavers were just incredibly effeminate men that Kratos was fighting. It would be a much different ambiance, I feel. Now, the last and most terrifying of our undead foes is the Nightmare. While in the world of Kratos and his son Atreus, they appear as a disembodied floating eyeball, in our world, they are referred to as mares, or mara, or nachtmara, and they are known to ride men in their sleep until they die. Now, there is an implication there, but this is a child-friendly show, so I'll leave it to you adults to interpret what I mean. The mares would ride men in their sleep until they suffocated to death, and this is typically seen as being incredibly brutal and a slow and painful way to die. These creatures are never known to attack women in any of the mythologies surrounding them, but always being attracted to powerful or particularly deceitful men. And it is said that they ride to their victims' homes on blood-red steeds, using their dreams as a portal to enter their home. And every account we have of these creatures tells us that they kill slowly and viciously. And now a bit of secret information for all my true story seekers. While Odin is seen as a powerful magic user in all of the mythologies, this is something that is often misinterpreted, or more, it is omitted. Odin was looked upon with great shame in his final years leading up to Ragnarok. He became known as the Great Oathbreaker. He was called an Argoron, and that is an incredibly heavy insult to hurl at a Norseman, especially one of status, because it's an equivalent of something else I'll make a TikTok on, but it essentially means that he's lost all manliness. And Odin lost much honor in his mastery of the satyr craft, and while he was in fact a powerful practitioner, he lost the respect of his children, of his fellow gods, and of the gods of all of the other realms. And among his constant oath-breaking and hoarding of knowledge and resource, Odin was ill looked upon by the time Ragnarok rolled around. So much so that after the end of days, there is nowhere in the legends that state that his remaining children and grandchildren even went so far as to give him a proper funeral pyre. There is no account of his body ever even having been searched for. So it leads us to question, is power and knowledge really worth the loss of everything else when in the end, he still lost his life? Perhaps some of our next beasts can shine a little bit of light on Odin's mind, leading up to us talking about Odin's actual kin. But for that, we will have to wait until next week. I bid thee good day, travelers and story seekers, until the next time that you grace my humble home for a tale. Stay bloodthirsty, and remember, all hail. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad that everybody's been enjoying the stories thus far. It's been really absolutely incredible. And actually, for everybody who has watched to the end, I have decided that on the very last video in this series, which will be one of the God videos, I am going to put a sort of a little questionnaire, not questionnaire, but a something for everybody who watched through the series. I'm going to put a question in the final video for you guys to answer in the comments, and the first person to answer it correctly, I'm going to give a copy of God of War 4 to either through Steam or PlayStation, whatever your preferred platform is. But at the end of the series, I'm going to be giving away a copy of God of War 4, but only those of you who stayed till the end are going to know, because I'm not going to put this anywhere else except for at the end of the videos. So if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I'm at RealSlimYeezus. If you don't already follow me on TikTok, I'm at TheRealSlimYeezus, and I upload there pretty much daily, sometimes not, but usually I upload there daily. And I'm always on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also follow me on Snapchat at RealSlimYeezus. And yeah, if you haven't already, please destroy that subscribe button and then ring the victory bell to let everybody know that you have, in fact, conquered that subscribe button, and you will know you've conquered it because it will have lost all of its blood and it'll be a deathly gray. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I know I already said it, but stay bloodthirsty and remember, all hail. Oh, also my podcast, Endless Epic. Check it out.